Hey, Daily Dosers. My name's Austin Payne. I'm one of the high school pastors here at North Coast. And do you ever have this thought where as a major event in life happens and then you think you got to kick it into high gear? Like, this is why we do New Year's resolutions. Like, it's this major event, happens every year, January 1st, turning over a new leaf, and we think, okay, I got to read X amount of books this year. I got to get my finances in order. I got to get back in the gym. I'm going to get in shape. Or, for me recently, I have a 2-week-old at home. And when I had my second daughter, for whatever reason, my obsessive thought lately has been, I need to compete in a triathlon. Now, I don't know why this is my thought, right? I don't know why this has been my new obsessive thought of like, I need to bike, swim, and run. But there's something about being a dad of two that I'm like, I need to get in shape, or I want to accomplish something great. And I think there's something about Easter for me and maybe for you where we go to an Easter Sunday or we have an Easter weekend and we realize what the God of the universe did on our behalf. We realize that for God so loved the world that he gives us Jesus, and that Jesus comes and he lives this perfect life that you and I couldn't live. And then he dies the death that we deserve to die so that we might live the life that he deserved to live. And we hear this news, and maybe you went to a Good Friday service, and maybe you sat in an Easter service. And I think if you're anything like me, sometimes we look at this week after Easter and we go, okay, now I really got to do something big for the Lord. Or now I got to turn over this whole new leaf in my walk with Jesus. And I love how Paul puts it in Ephesians, and I think for me it's what I needed to hear post-Easter. And he simply says this in Ephesians chapter 5. It says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as the unwise but as the wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit." And I love this command, this simple juxtaposition between these two things. Don't get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit. But when you take those two things and you put them side by side, I think it challenges my do something big for the Lord. Right? This command, be filled with the Spirit. If you'll allow me to kind of nerd out for a second here, in the Greek, which this was originally written in, be filled is a passive imperative. And this passive imperative, when you translate it, it really should be translated, be being filled by the Spirit. It's what Chris Brown says, it's bad grammar, but good theology. It's be being filled. It's not a past event with ramifications for the future. It's an ongoing process of, yes, when we surrendered our life to Jesus, when we gave our life over to him, the Spirit of God dwells within us now. We understand that from Scripture, but it's not just a one-time deal. And it's not that I now post-Easter have to do this big event for God. It's really just a dailiness of waking up each day going, I'm going to die to self today because of Jesus, and because Jesus gives me that ability through his Spirit, that today I just get to consume that grace, live in light of that grace, and live with that concept of being filled with the Spirit. That each day this week, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's not that I have to do this big act for God. It's just a dailiness, right? The mundane, every minute of every day at work with my family, would I be being filled with the Spirit as I walk throughout my day? Would that kind of give us a deep breath to go, the Lord has accomplished, it is finished, it is done, and today I get to live in that grace. It's not this huge act, it's a simplicity of being filled with the Spirit. Would that encourage you today, Doser? We'll see you tomorrow.